It was like 1.1 million a year to pay him, the former head of the Stasi, to come here and help set that up. And it's an intimidation. And I've had Secret Service and FBI come and say, what'd you mean about this? I mean, the Texas Ranger that was here yesterday was here for 15 minutes. I didn't get to talk to him because I was on air. They just told him to go, and then he wouldn't come back because, oh, we've got what we need now. He's like, so what goes on around here? I need to check this out. I only believe mainstream media. So I called him up and said, the government's criminal. The government ships in the drugs. Don't come around here acting like we're bad just because you showed up and you're wearing a cowboy hat. Let's see you get up there and break a horse right now, son. I mean, I'm tired of all this, that I'm bad and government's good. That's what all this is about. So I've been over there to the Domain, really nice movie theater. Shane's taken his wife. I've taken mine over there. You know, we watched Dinesh D'Souza's movie. I think that was the night he's talking about when I had a chance to meet the chef over there because they have really good gourmet food at that theater, North Austin. I need to go back over there. Saw an ad for it. So starting over, tell people what happened. Okay, so you're trying to help a TSA worker who part-time is a waitress. That's got to be a pretty good gig over there. The average waitress makes $19 an hour, but she made me even more than that. So she's over there, and I guess for talking political, I mean, they just arrested a guy. He's facing a felony for peanut butter. You know, I mean, they're crazy. They want to put us all in camps. We're their slaves. So tell us what happened.
Well, I really wanted to get the idea, the mindset of people that actually work there, and you know what she's driving for, what her goals are. But another part of what I asked her for was any kind of documents, a handbook, etc. That might give me another better idea of what goes on. And I made the off the cuff comment, hey, I'll give you a reward if you bring something in. That's what prompted them to come by. It was the assumption that I was going to bribe or, pay for information.
Yeah, but see, I wouldn't even have talked to them because they'll spin everything against you or claim you lied about something and try to put you in jail for that. You know, they put Martha Stewart in jail, not for insider trading, but they said she lied. She didn't do anything. I've looked at the case. Meanwhile, the Congress is insider trading publicly. I mean, I would just say, hold on a minute. I mean, obviously, hey, I'll make you a nice pizza if you, I want to understand the handbook. Does the handbook say there's radiation? We're trying to help them. It's a public service. I don't like that stuff's, quote, classified about the scanners. So how did this end?
And that's the point I made. I'm like, look, I wasn't looking for classified information. I was looking for open information, maybe from an insider perspective. And they said, well, since you weren't looking for, quote, unquote, classified information, we're not going to pursue this any further, and you're clear. But, and then the conversation shifted to, well, what do you think of Alex Jones? So what are your, how do you feel about his point of view and et cetera?
Oh, my God.
And those two very nice gentlemen, I got to say. But, shifting the conversation back to you, asking, what my views were on the subject. At that point, I'm like, look, guys, he has a lot of great points. Do I agree with everything he says? I'm an individual. I create my own decisions based on the information I get.
I would have said, what do you think of Alex Jones?
Well, I did. One of the FBI agents said he's a listener. I'm like, well, that's...
Well, when I had the FBI here last time, they were asking, what's that poster? And I'm going, it's Obama deception. It's a film. It's been out for it doesn't even matter. I mean, it's like this implication that I'm doing something wrong. I mean, and it's just not happening. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I went on the aggressive with him. Look, I believe I'm a staunch supporter in the Second Amendment. I believe in the right of the people to defend themselves from tyranny. And I look at both of them like, look, you two will be civilians when you retire, and then you will want that right. And that's the only thing keeping us from becoming any other third world
And what did
country.
they say at the end of that with the big evil chef at the movie theater?
They agreed with me. They go, oh, yeah, we're supporters of the Second Amendment also. I'm like, I'm former, the Homeland Security guy was like, I'm former military. So I was in, street clothes, and I had my jacket on. I had a Guns and Coffee logo patch with kind of a play on the Starbucks. And we got into a story about, Starbucks not sending coffee over to the military servicemen and women overseas, and we got in a conversation about that. And
well, see, the only thing holding back the tyranny is that most people in the military and the police are still common sense and are good men and women. They're trying to warp them, though, right now. And there's a battle right now going on And look, they're not going to worry about when they get out of the government and are, quote, civilians. They're going to have to worry now. This is all coming to a head the next few years. Okay, I mean, there is no future. They plan to shut this country down and break us. That is the official plan. So folks better decide where they stand. So how did this end, Chef Max?
It went well. I mean, we parted ways. We shook hands. Nothing was wrong.
Police audio from Dorner Siege. Burn this mother effer down. All right, we're going to go ahead with the plan with the burners. And now there's more clips of the police saying, we're going to burn him down. We're going to kill him. Get the gasoline. And there are people in the comments, there's almost 1,000 comments on this one article that's linked up at drudgereport.com saying that, oh, no, it's just like Waco. They mean tear gas rounds. Well, yeah, there's also military tear gas that shoots flame out the sides and is well known for starting fires. But they've got a tank in there, and they say, place the burners. Okay, they're ignited. Okay, there's a fire. I mean, it's... All right, pull building 7. All right, we gave the order. Watch the building come down. Demolition term. And they say, get back, we're blowing it up. I mean, you cannot sit there and get me to not understand what's happening. Chef Max, so the FBI visited because you had a waitress who was also TSA, and you said, hey, I want to find out if their manual warns you about the radiation. We really need to protect you and, people. Try to bring in your manual. And the FBI comes to talk to you. How does the story end?
Well, they basically say, hey, don't try and bribe officials. If you would have offered, actually given her money, then we would have a case for pursuing this. I said, I totally understand. That wasn't my goal and my intentions. Just looking for. Yeah,
intent is key. You were like, hey, bring me a manual. They're telling you about radiation or not, and I'll give you a pizza.
Basically, I think that was part of the conversation also. I love taking care of people, and,
I know. You've given me a free pizza. You're nice. Everybody needs to come up there. But still, you've got the FBI and Homeland Security up there at your work, high-class place. It's all part of... I mean, I can't believe, though, did she run and talk about this to them? Like she's secret agent?
It was... The conversation was started at work. Her supervisor got involved, and then before you know... I mean, this took 6 months for them to get to me. It wasn't like they knocked on my door, the day after I had the conversation. But still, I mean, I'm a little person with a view and a point of view. And I still had 2 agents with, big salaries,
Well, I had the Texas Ranger here because, Rob Dew, broke the whole thing down for me. Well, I'm not gonna, the security system records everything in that entrance, so I went and listened to it. I actually listened to him, let's be technical. I didn't listen to the whole thing. I don't have time for a 20-minute tape, but I listened to the front and the end. The guy seemed pretty nice, but he's still like, well, I need to know who these Marines are that gave you this info because we don't think he's crazy either, and we want to make sure. And then I call him back and go, okay, I'll talk to the Marines and see if they want to talk to you. But I said, do not give me a subpoena or I'm going to fight it because I go, you're not going to be able to get that with freedom of the press. I know things are changing, but he goes, no. I talked to my supervisors. You're right. Thank you, Mr. Jones. And I said, what do you mean? He goes, well, we've already got, the info you've given us from some other Marines. But your article was helpful. I got to go. My supervisor says, hang up. And he hung up on me and won't answer the phone. And I'm like, I want to talk to the Texas Ranger. I want to hear what's going on. I want to interrogate him in a nice way about, I don't buy this story that some guy who was, a mechanic in the Marines has PTSD and goes out and shoots Chris Kyle, and then it's an open and shut case and the story's changed so much. Good to hear from you, Chef Max. I should have clicked because I met the guy twice. Really nice place, folks. I've been in movie theaters all over the country that are swanky. So when I'm in a city or something and got an evening, I'll say, oh, where's the local movie theater we can eat dinner? That's kind of the end thing the last decade or so with Alamo Drafthouse. It started here in Austin. But they have other ones, and it's one of the nicest or the nicest I've ever been to. Very, very nice. Little plug there. I get my free tickets. Let's go to, move quick here. William says he works in intelligence in Virginia. William.